I didn't have my mic turned on, so this is a dub over. Let's see if this works. So I'm gonna go through this again, and I did this about an hour ago. If for those of you following along, so I have a lot of cash secured puts that are expiring, a lot of covered calls that are expiring. So I want to get into something that I currently don't have a position in, and one of those is Cleveland Cliffs. I did stop kind of going to Cleveland Cliffs for a little while. That's because it was in that high range of 17, 17.50. It may have touched 18 for a little bit. Um, but now it's coming back into that 16 range. And it may be on earnings because the cash or the covered call premium is crazy. And this is what I was talking about when my mic wasn't turned on. Was that's when that period of time I think it was a little overvalued. Now when it's coming back into the 16 range, this week there's not much premium there. So this is what I did. I put in an order at 16 and confirmed and sent that. But then what I did was I looked at next week's premium because I'm trying to set up for next week. Look at next week's premium, and it's $65 for a 16 covered call. 65. So I went in and I canceled the order for 16 even though I think it came back into 16 pretty closely. So I canceled it for 16 and I bought it straight away at 16.10, I believe. So yeah, there's that order right there. 1609. I got an immediate fill on that for the setup next week. Hopefully I can that premium is still there. Hopefully it doesn't dip under the 16 and close out under there because that's going to eat into that premium for next week for the covered call. But like I said, I have a lot of cash. I don't have a position in Cleveland Cliffs. I'm waiting for everything to settle. And here's my regrettable trade right here. I go back to T. And AT&T, some people say it's going to zero, that TV's dead, that the writers block or the writers strike is gonna just devastate them. Others say that they are deeply undervalued and they have tons of assets, and even though they have debt, they're paying it down. It's a great dividend. They're gonna recover. I have 200 shares already, and I try not to go over 200 shares for one. Second rule I have is I try and keep it under 2% of my total portfolio, any position. But since T is down to 1475, I think my position is less than all 300 shares is less than 2% of my portfolio, I believe. I'll have to do the calculation, but this is kind of a rule breaker for me. Also, T has not been good at all. I think my cost basis right now is 25. I think on those 200 shares, but there is good covered call premium right now for next week. So if it could kind of get above 15, I think that'll be a good level, and that's my dub over. Hopefully it worked.